What's good? It's the boy, Dylan! Hit that like button as you come in.
Wrapped around your heart, a weapon drenched in blood. It's falling over you. There's nothing you can do. You know there's nothing angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more. Old enough to lose. Still you got to choose. Young enough to live for something you can't win. You know there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more.
Turtle Gang, what is good? Make sure y'all hit that like button as you come in. What's up, Paper Katina? Amanda, Miss Stacy, Anna. Turtle Gang.
The righteous are the ones who's giving in.
ATLC.
Oh, there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause
What's up,
the
Lone Guy?
righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more.
What is up, turtles? It is good to see you guys. Of course, again today. Had to get my Starbucks in me this morning. Dolly just waking up, ready to go. Got some information. Anyway, so we're gonna start with the Summer Wells stuff. All right, Summer Wells. I can't even talk this morning. Summer's Day coming up the 15th. Okay, so I ordered some wristbands for Summer's Day that I'm gonna be giving away while I'm out there. And I was worried, like I paid extra to rush ship them to see if they get here in time. And then, I've been tracking them. They've been in like China or something, right? I don't know. But eventually they came. So today I got the wristbands that I'm gonna be giving away at the Summer Wells Summer Day event that's happening at Warriors Path the 15th. And basically they say they got a little sunshine on them. And they say Summer's Day and 1-800-TBI fine on the back. So I'm going to be out there cooking from 12 to 4 around that time frame. I don't know, rain, sleet, shine, whatever the hell goes down. Dolly would be out there, Dolly and crew, grilling out. You're more than welcome to stop by. A lot of people are saying Dolly's having a party. Dolly's not having a party. Some people are saying Dolly's having a meet and greet. We're not having a meet and greet. Okay, we're having a meet and eat. Okay, we ain't gonna say hello to each other, so that takes away the greet part. Okay, so it ain't a meet and greet, haters. It's a meet and eat. So anyway, like I said, the first people that come up to me, I will be giving away these wristbands. While supplies last. I know Dumpling has some coming too, so there should be plenty for everybody. Okay, And these will be absolutely free. You can't buy these. They're not for sale on the merch store or nothing like that. Okay. So you can only get them at the event. Okay. If you see me out there, just ask for one and I'll give you one. Also, for all my Turtle Gang people, these are dope. The Turtle Gang bracelets are in. Now, these came out really cool. So, of course, they say, I don't know if y'all can see that. They say Dolly Vision, YouTube. They have the little turtles. And then on the back side of it, it says hashtag Turtle Gang. Okay. Bam! Now, you can buy these. These are on the merch store. Okay. And these are the way we're able to finance these trips to Tennessee and buy food and things like that. So pick you up a Turtle Gang bracelet, right? And like I said, I'm giving the Summer Wells ones away. First come, first serve that day. Now, we hoping there's nothing bad goes down out there. Last year, I seen Bullhorn Betty jump in the room. The one that me and Bullhorn Betty did, Justin, Guidance, Suzanne, we all put together down there. It went super smooth. Okay. No problems whatsoever. And leading up to these types of things, like last year, there was a lot of drama. Okay. People making threats, saying crazy stuff, just pure tea madness. But when we got down there, everything went smooth as hell, other than it was 5,000 degrees outside. Okay. Hot as shit. I don't know. I sweated more that day than I think I have ever in my life. But all the people that were starting drama and doing all these things, none of them people, of course, none of them showed up. It was just all internet talk. Oh, we're going to do this, blah, 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 right? But come that day, it was really just a smooth, nice day. A lot of the locals came out. I met a lot of new people out there in Tennessee. Good time. Okay. Under bad circumstances, because, a lot of these people think that I think this is a party. I don't think a little girl going missing is a party. Okay. But I don't think us being miserable, right? Like enjoying the day. Is there something wrong with that? And spreading awareness? I don't think so. Right. I don't think you have to be miserable to spread awareness. You can't have a decent time and eat some food and spread awareness. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's one of those double standard things, because, there's other people out there doing things. And, according to these people, they're doing it for the right reasons, but Dolly does the same things. And Dolly's the bad guy, right? Who cares? You can't win with these people whatsoever. No matter what I do, it won't be the right thing or good enough or whatever. Because if you just don't like my face, you just don't like me. It just is what it is. Now, in the Kohberger stuff, right? I'm hearing the defense. They don't want no cameras in the courtroom. Okay. And that ain't good, because I want to see what goes on in that damn courtroom. And I know most of you guys want to see it too. Right? Who don't want to see what goes down in the Brian Kohberger case? If they do not televise this case, I'm flying out there for a little bit of it. Okay. And not only that, okay, today, speaking of traveling to court cases, all right, today was Dolly's court date in Savannah, Georgia. Okay. Trace, right? I had court today in Georgia. Yeah, today is the 8th. So court was today. Of course, Dolly didn't have to be there. My lawyer, he's sick. Okay. The lawyer's sick. Court's been moved back to sometime in August. Okay. So I originally wanted to go sit in a little bit of the Leilani stuff. Okay. When they sentence her and things like that, I would like to be there to see that. Okay. In person, not like on TV. I want a ticket. Like can I get like front row? I want to see this shit. Okay. Now me in Georgia, hopefully that stuff will get cleared up. I don't know what's going to go on. It's been drug on for a little while now. I wish it would clear up soon. I was hoping that Leilani would go to court before me, But with all her motions that they're putting into the court, it seems like her court date is going, I'm going to go to court before Leilani. And my court date's a ways away. So hers is a ways away. Georgia be pushing some shit back, boy. They be looking for some reasons to continue some shit. So everything in Georgia for me is good. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to be there today, but like I said, I guess the lawyer put in some paperwork. It's being moved, all that good stuff. I believe it's in August or something of that, and that may be moved. So anyway, I want to, I definitely want to be there for a little bit of the Leilani trial, and I want to be there for a little bit of the Brian Kohberger trial. So we're going to cover a little bit of that stuff live. One live from Idaho. I guess I'm taking a trip back. You know what I'm saying? And from Savannah. Okay. Because I'm going to be taking a trip back there too. I mean, maybe a couple trips back to Savannah. One, I got to take a legal trip for myself back to Savannah, which is a misdemeanor. No big deal. Right. I mean, everything's a big deal, but not the biggest deal in the world. Didn't rob a bank, didn't kill nobody, didn't shoot nobody. Nothing. Okay. So it ain't that bad. But then I want to be able to sit in. If I go ahead and get my court over with in Georgia and it's nothing bad, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll go ahead, and hopefully Leilani's right around then. Okay. Because I like to hear what other evidence they got against Leilani Simon. Okay. Because, everybody in the neighborhood knew, like they knew she threw the baby in the dumpster. People knew shit, right? Like the neighborhood talked. So I wonder what other evidence the police actually have on her, and how are they going to determine the cause of death of Quentin Simon? Trigger warning, people. I hate to say this because I ain't talked about it in a little while, but we know that baby sitting in a landfill for 30 days at least in the blistering hot Georgia sun. Okay. With bugs and insects and animals and stuff running over it. I think it's going to be super hard to determine the cause of death in Quentin Simon because it took so long for them to find him. I don't think they found, and here's the thing, they didn't find something with flesh. They found partial remains. They didn't even find all of them. So they don't even have all of them. They just have some of them. They have enough of them to determine he's deceased and that it's him. Right? But I don't think, because I remember when he first went, they found him. They said they had partial remains, and a reporter asked them, "Are y'all going to keep searching?" And the chief, what is it, Hatley? He said he didn't know if they were going to continue to keep searching. But shortly after that, I didn't hear nothing more about searching of that landfill. They kind of called off the search and everything like that. And from my understanding, partial remains were sent to Quantico to identify him, right? Which they did identify it as Quentin Simon. Then the remains were sent back for testing to Savannah, right? If they're sending them back, they're trying to figure out what the cause of death is. If it's going to be, if the cause of death was like some blunt force trauma, let's just say that she beat the baby, because that's what everybody said. She would hit the baby. She would backhand the baby. The baby would fall in the street and shit. It's going to be hard to say, yeah, that is the cause of death, because you got to remember this baby was thrown in a dumpster. Okay. The baby was put in a trash compactor truck, right? Dumped out, buried, ran over. It's going to be super hard to determine the cause of that baby's death. What I've always believed in this is she's going to take a plea to some type of wrongful death charge, manslaughter, and start talking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And say this baby, because she could come out and say right off the rip, this baby fell down the stairs. Okay, the baby fell down the stairs. I panicked. I wrapped the baby up. I threw it in a dumpster. Them are different charges. Okay. That ain't, yeah, you're disposing of a corpse and things like that, but she hasn't said nothing. So we don't know what her defense is. We don't know how strong her defense is going to be. Right. But we do know she constantly lied. Right. She constantly lied, and they're going to be able to prove that she lied. And to me, that's what's going to do her the most damage is all the lying she did in the beginning. The baby ran away. And some of the lies she doubled down on. Not only that, I think some of the stuff we captured on tape is really damaging to her. And that shit is going to be used against her in court. You can believe that. That going out partying at Tybee Island while motherfuckers are searching for your kids. You don't think they're going to say nothing about that in court? Oh, they are. They will. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't so worried when everybody was searching. You was out partying. Thank you, Dolly. You're welcome. You're welcome, court. Okay. You got to show people, hey, this girl's out raising hell, partying. She don't give two F's. Okay. She don't give two F's. That baby didn't accidentally fall. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know how she's going to play it. She never said nothing. Right? To me, I think she's going to spin it that Danny had something to do with it. I think Danny is their key witness against her. Okay. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Because you look, Danny ran. Danny was like, boop, boop, done. I think the police talked to him. I think they said, yo, we think, get away and, we ain't going to charge you. Tell us what you know. And I think that's what he did. And that's why when I started digging into Danny, his mama was quick to be like, don't be coming around. You remember his mama was posting shit about Dolly. Boy, she dropped Dolly's name quick. She was like, look, stay away. I get it. Now, I get it. He is the prime witness in this. He is probably the one that drops the axe on Leilani, right? What he comes in there and says, I want to be there for that. I'll wave at his mom this time and be like, hey, I didn't show up, right? Didn't show up. Can't be mad at me. You said don't come. I didn't come. But that's not because you said don't come. It's just I was busy with other shit. Okay. So, like I said, I think he's going to be the number one witness against her. To me, right, what she said was Danny did it. Basically. I mean, she didn't go, hey, Dolly, Danny did it. Right. But she did say Danny was beating on her kids, that he took off 4 days after it. And she was kind of insinuating. She didn't say Danny did it. But she was insinuating to me that he did it. Okay. Now, of course, I don't really believe that. She's also really cold, really dark. You know what I'm saying? And she constantly lying. She was lying about the baby being missing. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, if you was a killer, most killers ain't gonna say, yeah, I did it. Right? They ain't gonna be like, yeah, I did it. They're gonna be like, they're gonna try to blame it on somebody else. And I think that was what she was trying to do. So I don't know. I want to sit through a little bit of that one, and I want to sit through the Kohberger one. But the day I want to be there for that one is when Dylan takes the stand. Okay? Because when Dylan takes a stand, she got some explaining to do to me. All right? Like, I don't care about nothing else in the case. I know he's guilty. I know he did it. He deserves the death penalty 100% sure, right? I just got to, I got to wrap my head around why this girl did not call the police. This long later, I still cannot make sense of it. No matter how hard I try, in my mind, I think, how could this shit had happened? Right? And I still want to know the connection. They're connected. The dad said that shit right in the very beginning. He said there's some type of connection. We don't know what it is yet. Blah, blah, blah. They're connected somehow. And I believe they're connected through some type of drugs. Okay. Young people, party town, college. Somehow they're connected through partying or drugs. Okay. And maybe the reason his phone is pinged around there so much is maybe he might be slinging some drugs on the side, or somebody in that house was. Either he was dropping something off or picking something up, or do you think he was just really stalking like that? Like, I'm going to drive by this house 15, 16 times different, close enough that the Wi-Fi and things like that are picking him up. It sounds like he was walking up to the door. If the Wi-Fi is picking you up in the house, I mean, you probably can pick up my Wi-Fi at the street, but it's going to be like barely. And I don't know if you would connect, because it seems like he was connecting to their Wi-Fi. If he's connecting to their Wi-Fi, unless it's unlocked, he has the password. Okay. Now listen to this. In the other situation he was in with the lady, he broke into their home. He had already been in the home. And you know how everybody's like, well, how did he know the house? Right? How did he know the house so good? Because he had broke into it before. That's what I think. If you look at what he did with the other lady, he broke in the house first, right? He moved things around in her house. He just moved them around to scare her. Like, you come in and be like, you might not think nothing of it. Oh, I thought I set my phone over here, but it's over here. Damn, that's strange, right? But then when you go somewhere else and something else is moved, you're like, wait a minute, there's shit being moved around in my house. And he was telling this lady, hey, I installed some cameras and things, security stuff. And instantly she calls him for help. Right? He created a situation where he could be the hero. Right? To get the girl. But not only to get the girl, but to spy and to creep on this girl. How do we know that Kohberger didn't do something like this? This ain't like, it's a script, okay? He's running he ain't just stalking one girl, right? Like, he didn't just have some, oh, I'm in love with this girl, let me kill her fantasy. No, he was stalking multiple women at the same time, right? They just happened to be the victims. It could have been somebody else. It could have been the lady he hooked the cameras up for. It could have been the lady that got her car broken into and her panties. He liked to move things around. Remember, listen to this. You go back to what the girl said about her car being broken into. She said the shit was in the street. Things in my car were moved around. Okay, just moved around. Not taken. Moved around. The girl that had Brian Kohberger install the cameras, nothing was taken. Things were just moved around. Do you see the connection in it? You see the connection in it? He's a creepy. He's a creepo. He's a peeping Tom. He's stalking multiple women. He is a predator opportunity. Okay? For all we know, he's seen them drunk. Right? He'd already been stalking them, peeping them. Everybody at that college, them chicks, them dorm houses where them girls live. Oh, let me tell you, that's a haven for predators. Right? You don't think there's people that know there's 30 hot ass chicks that live at this house? Every weirdo dude is going to be walking down that block, finding reasons to be in that area. It's just the way it is. So I believe he knew. Lolo believed he was a creeper. She told me, she said, look, this is all connected. There's other similar crimes in Pennsylvania that are similar to this, right? The stalking, the peeping, the breaking in, the moving things, right? This is all type of shit that BTK did. All right. You look at this dude, he studied BTK in school underneath his teacher. It's starting to, like, little things are starting to add up. It's starting to make a little more sense. He has been like this since he's 16, 17 years old. Okay. When you look back to the virtual fog he was having, or the virtual snow, or things of this nature, and how he perceived the world, even as a young person, he was on that path. He was pretty much, I believe he had been fantasizing about hurting people for a long time. And I'll say this, I'll say a lot of people disagree when I say it's sexual, because they wasn't unclothed, and it is sexual. Okay. I'm telling you, it's sexual. It's sexual to all these predators. It's just not sexual in the same way as a physical contact. Like, he don't want to rape the women. Okay. He wants to go home and probably do things Trigger want to go, with himself and fantasize about these things. Okay. So to him, it is a sexual act. Okay. The killing is what is hyping him up. Okay. I'm trying to keep it clean and, appropriate, without saying certain things. But to me, it is a totally sexual act. And he had been preying like that on women for a long time. I believe that. That's just what I think. Right. And I knew in the beginning, I told everybody, I said, this dude is a serial killer. He ain't one of the kids, because everybody blamed every fucking college student out there. Y'all remember that? Every college student got blamed. Jack, I don't know, Jack A, B, C, D, E, F. I mean, so many Jacks. Everybody got blamed. And I was like, no. This is something from a killer. Like, these are kids, right? Kohberger's a young man, but he's been a killer in his mind for a long, long time. And I still strongly believe this man's a serial killer. I just for something, this tells me this ain't all he's done. You don't start like this. This is a seasoned veteran that's gotten caught, and he's just shutting up. But if they start looking into other crimes, and the thing is, you're thinking stabbings, but no, killers don't always kill the same way. If you just go, okay, let's go check all the stabbings. Okay, he wasn't at this. It could be all kinds of things. It could be somebody, a prostitute that was strangled in a park. It could be anything. Something he is connected to. I just strongly feel that. And I'm going to open up the phone lines. If y'all think Brian Kohberger is a serial killer, call in and let me know. If you think he ain't, and this is his one time, I'm going to kill some people just for the, I just think it's all connected. I think his fantasy started at a young age, and he started acting on those. And way before the Idaho 4. Okay, you got to look. This man has also traveled across country a couple different times by himself. Them are the scariest people. And we know all truck drivers are serial killers. Okay? Never get near a truck driver, serial killer. Anybody with a Class A CDL license like Dolly, serial killer. Okay? I don't drive trucks, though, because I don't want to kill nobody. As soon as you get in one of those trucks, you become a serial killer. I'm just... Facts. Okay? I didn't create it. Stay away from... You ever seen The Hitcher? Stay away from truck drivers. All right? They're crazy. I'm just playing about the truck drivers, but drifters, anybody that's drifting around could be dangerous, because a drifter can be there 1 minute and nobody knows them. Do something, boom, disappear, gone. You don't know who that person is, have no clue. Them are dangerous people. And he was floating around a little bit. His family knew. They're no different than Brian Laundrie's family. Okay. Look, the dirty laundries. You got to bring it up. All right. I hope they get sued at everything they got. Right. They were going to bring the shovel. Okay. I'll bring a shovel. That's a hell of a parent right there, boy. I'll bring the shovel. Look, I tell my kid, look, I'm going to hire your lawyer. You're going to have to face this. I ain't bringing you no fucking shovel. Okay. I ain't saying nothing like that. I would want to help my child. I can understand that. I'm not helping you bury no fucking body. Okay. Are you lost your mind? You trying to get me in prison with you? I'd be like, baby girl, I ain't going to prison with you. But I mean, I'll try to get you the best lawyer I can get you. And I don't know why you did the shit. You need baby Jesus, but I wouldn't be out there with a damn, hey, I'm going to get you out the country and help you bury this fucking body. Brian Kohberger's sister thought he did it. They knew he did it. They flew out there. His dad flew out. Why are you going to fly out there to drive back? That makes no damn sense. That's a waste of money. Because he knew. They knew. You don't think they knew when he got back and he's walking around the damn house with surgical gloves on? Okay. tearing up his mail and the little ass pieces, dropping shit in there. He got IDs from multiple people, right? Because he was breaking into places. He's been stalking women, breaking in, and I guarantee he's done some creepy shit. I guarantee it. And I guarantee you it's super similar to BTK. Guarantee it. He has been reading books on serial killers. His mother's into serial killers. Okay. I remember when I was a kid, my mom always read these magazines, these true crime magazines. They were like, I could, I almost can remember the name of it, but I can't. But it'd be like different crimes and shit. And some of them were little books. And then some of them be like magazine type, but they would come with a bunch of different crime in it way back in the day. So his mama was into true crime. So if you say you're a kid, you go around and you're watching Unsolved Mysteries and America's Most Wanted, just like me, right? You're going to be into those things a little bit. It's kind of how you're brought up. That's interesting to you. These crazy people and these crimes that are happening to some people anyway. But if you get into it and you get like crazy into it, you know how some people are, then you start wanting to do those things. Like I read many a serial killer book. I ain't never want to hurt nobody. I love everybody, you know, love animals, but some people are not, their screws ain't all the way tight. I guess that's the best way to say it. And when they start reading something, they start having these weird fantasies and things. It's like I don't blame video games for kids. You know, some things, sometimes for a weak-minded person, these shoot 'em up games are not good. Okay. Because some kids can't distinguish. Okay. Like me, of course, when I play a video game, I know it's a video game and it's for entertainment and it's wrong to hurt people in the real world. Okay. But if you start as a kid and you just raised on running and gunning, right? Because, you know, I'm a gamer, running and gunning, just running around shooting people in a video game is what it means. You know, I don't know. It's for a strong-minded person, that's perfectly fine. For a weak-minded person, I'd say, hey, if your kid is not like gripping reality good, don't put them into an alternate reality where you kill people. Okay, that's not good. I don't never want to be the one to blame video games, but you got to know, as a parent, you got to know where your kid stands with video games. He realizes, hey, this is a game we just playing, and this is not reality, and it's absolutely wrong to hurt people. You know, he has just took his fantasies way too far, and I'm telling you, it's gonna come out he's a serial killer. And then when y'all gotta go, Dolly, you're a genius, I'm gonna be like, I know, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. There is a I told you so day coming, right? The title of the video is gonna be I told you so, right? And they're digging into it. You look at the shit that's going on in Pennsylvania, they are digging. Okay. So let me open the phone lines now before I talk you to death. All right, let me put the phone line up on the screen. All right, I didn't even have to put it on the screen. All right, give me 1 second, caller. Dolly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or it's good afternoon. Sorry.
You must have me on
So,
speaker.
yeah.
I didn't even put the number up. I was like, who's calling already? Paper cut. Tina.
Yeah. I got a few hours sleep, so I'm still kind of waking up too, but I had a little coffee. Well, I've been wrong about a lot in this, you know, a lot of different cases. Like I didn't think the dad knew. Remember, I didn't think Kohberger's dad knew.
Why do you think he was
But he
nervous
did.
when they got pulled over?
Well,
I mean, who acts like that when you
I
get pulled over? He act nervous as shit.
See, I didn't think he was acting that nervous. I thought his son was. That was just my perception.
I thought they were both
Yeah.
acting weird as shit.
Yeah, in hindsight, he definitely was.
And what
The
reason
dad,
would you fly all the way out there to drive back?
sightsee?
Of somewhere you've been before?
No. I'm being
I don't buy
facetious.
that. I don't buy it.
No.
I believe.
No, that was really bizarre.
They knew their son was a whack job. Okay.
Yeah.
They knew he was a
Yeah.
creepy, weird dude. Come on. You can
Mhm.
look at him and see he's a weird. He has that deep dark look like Leilani. I hate to say that. I hate to
Yeah.
compare her to Brian Kohberger, but they got a similar demeanor. They got a
Mhm.
similar like when you look at them.
Yeah.
I don't know if killers have a look, but I see some fucking similarities. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I see some similarities in the two.
Oh yeah, his eyes look like Bundy.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
reminds.
saw Bundy
I
on
was going to say the
YouTube
same
the other
thing. He
day.
reminds me of a Ted Bundy. He reminds me of
He
a Ted
really
Bundy,
does.
but with more of a personality of I believe crimes of a BTK. Like if BTK and Ted Bundy had a baby, you get Brian Kohberger. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Yeah, and I also called because you're absolutely right. You know, with the killing, I didn't know there was a special name. Remember, it was piquerism.
Yeah.
Piquerism.
Yeah.
Killing for that sexual gratification. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them people never reach the point of killing. Some peepers, because it's just, they like it's a fantasy thing for them. Some people like the thrill of almost getting caught. I don't know if there's a name for it, but some people really enjoy almost getting caught. It's the thrill. It's like they're seeking this rush, and it's the rush of being so close to being caught. And a lot of serial killers want that same type of rush, the thrill, and I believe he knew he was going to get caught. Maybe he purposely did some of this, leaving the knife sheath. He seems like if he has a master's degree in criminology, if he made these mistakes, he would have knew he was making these mistakes. But he didn't.
Yeah.
He purposely made these mistakes. That's what I think.
You could be right, but I've always
it's a game. This is like a game of damn jigsaw. Catch me if you can. Prove it. It's one of these things.
But that's really, really damning evidence. Leaving a sheath.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, to me, that's too damning.
I mean, there's a lot of other things as a criminology student he would have. But here's one thing. He didn't leave a hair. He was able to go in that house, kill all them people, and not leave one single hair.
Good grief.
And
you think he had a hairnet on?
He didn't leave one single hair. Not one hair in a struggle, fighting with somebody with defensive wounds. There's no DNA. Where does that make sense?
I'm surprised they didn't find him with a shaved head, because even one of those hairnet or hair cap things, that would have gotten pulled off, you'd think, in a struggle.
I would think in a struggle, and I believe him and Ethan got in a fight. I believe he went up the stairs. He killed them upstairs, and when he came down, Ethan doorway, and they got into it. He kills Ethan, and he kills Ethan's girlfriend.
Yeah, and do you think that
they were awake?
Oh God, I just rather.
And Dylan heard it all.
Yeah,
and seen some of it. You know what I'm saying? They were fighting in the doorway.
Yep.
So,
do you think, Jimmy, that his goal, not his goal, but his, he was really after Maddie, and then Kaylee just happened to be there?
I don't think he cared. I think he may have seen them walking. You know what I'm saying? I think he was stalking that neighborhood anyway.
Yeah.
I think he's a general keeper. I don't think he's like got one person in mind. See, everybody thinks this was a targeted attack. I don't think it's a targeted attack. I think anybody was a target that he was peeping on. He had been watching them girls. He had been watching other girls. We know this now, right? He may have seen them heading home drunk, and he had already been watching them. He may have already broken their house. That's why he knew when them drunk girls went home what room was theirs, because he's probably done been in that house multiple times, either through a party at the college or he's broken it and stalked it. Maybe even took things from it.
Exactly. And maybe the door was just unlocked again. You
They
know, you
said that
just never know.
in the very beginning, there was people saying, "Hey, that door, people come and go out that house all the time. The door's always
Right.
unlocked. Things of that nature.
Right.
No security type shit. You know, there's no."
Yep.
So, you know, that's a bad thing. So you got college place, young women,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I tend to think most killers are men. I mean, I know there's some women out there that are killers, but I would say
Mm-hmm.
in this world, as far as serial killers, you really got to worry about
Mhm.
men. And it's very rare that a woman's going to come up in there and stab. I mean, unless it's some Charles Manson shit.
Mhm.
But it's very rare you're going to get a woman serial killer. I mean, you had that, like, what was that, Warno's lady? But most likely you
Yeah.
will get killed by a man.
Yeah. What kind of men did she go after? Do you remember? Were they just businessmen?
No,
Random?
no, she
Weren't they
was,
certain
she
types?
was a prostitute. So instead of
Oh, that's right.
men would pick her up, you know, and then she would
Oh my
rob
God.
them and kill them and take their money. She wasn't so much a serial killer. She was considered a serial killer, but more she was a robber. You know, she would shoot people and take their
Wow.
money in their car because she was just a miserable old ass lady that were hearing voices in her head.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't really study her that much, you know. What other female serial killers are there?
I
I'm
mean,
trying to
there's
think.
over
Can't think of
history.
any.
Over history,
I mean,
there's been some female serial killers. I didn't pull it up. I don't off the top of my head. I can't think, Tina. But look, hey, I
I
appreciate you
know.
calling.
Okay, can I just say one more quick thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think this. I think this was his first killing spree, though. I just really do, and I realized really why I'm not
You
wavering
might
from
be
that.
right. It might be his first killing spree, but it ain't his first killing.
I think it's his first killing. I have to be different than you, but it's not that. It's the fact that if he had killed before, well, you could look at it two ways, right? If he had killed before, why would he be so excited and gung ho on killing 4 people? But then again, if he's done it before, then he's not afraid to just do it again.
That's right.
Just kill that many people. So yeah,
If you
you're
would kill,
probably right, Jimmy.
ain't no problems. All right, Tina, you be good.
Okay, maybe you can ask Alexa who the female serial killers are. I don't know. It's just an idea. All right. Thank you, Jimmy, for your time.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Dolly!
Hey there.
Hey.
Hey, it's Amy from Tennessee.
Hey, Amy. How's it going?
Going good. Like I've always said, I believe you're right. I think he's killed before. And you're gonna be right. I think they're really gonna find that he's done this before. So
yeah. And I'm sure in the beginning, the first thing detectives did in Pennsylvania, where he's from, is they probably started looking into stabbings, other home invasion type killings. Okay, because that's what you would naturally think. But I believe it's a progression. He didn't start off with home invasions. He didn't start off with stabbings. He started off small.
And I didn't think about that until you said that. I thought, oh, well, he could have done something different. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you would naturally think, because instantly people were like, well, what about that other home invasion where the man and his wife were stabbed, in the middle of the night on the same day, just years prior? People were like, what about that? But he wasn't around at that point. That's another killer out there lurking somewhere.
Well, and also when they were searching the home, they found guns in the home in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he had guns. And he had multiple knives too.
So you're right. So it could have been a gun too.
He could have shot somebody. He could have strangled somebody. Anything. And I think what they really need to look into is cases that have something to do with peeping toms and or burglaries. breaking and entering where things ain't stolen, because
Right. Like
he's
because of that girl, because
yes,
of that other girl. Right. At
yes.
Washington State. Yeah.
Yeah, you got two girls that have similar stories. Okay.
Right.
I bet you there's other
Right.
girls that have similar stories
But I
too.
was also going to say, like with you and Tina, when you said that they didn't find a single hair, well, you don't know that yet, Dolly, because when they arrested him was when they just got the positive DNA,
Yeah, but if they would
and
have had a hair when they first took
no,
charges, when they were trying to
no,
indict them, when they were trying to bring them up on
the
charges, they would have said that. They would have used
no,
that to secure the warrants.
no, they still no. The PCA only tells you what what the initial evidence, what little evidence they have. They don't have to give you everything in that PCA.
Yeah,
If
but don't
you
you think if
listen,
they would have had a matching hair with DNA, they would have gave you that?
no, they still had tons of evidence to process.
Mm.
And the DNA takes tons of time, and they still have tons and tons of evidence to
Well,
process.
they didn't
If
arrest until they had the touch DNA from the sheath.
right, just that touch DNA had been processed to get him, to get whoever it was. But then they still had the other evidence to process, tons of evidence within the house. You see what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, I know that,
It's
and they took some hairs from his home, but I don't know
if
if
you
they got any
no
hair. Any,
from
what
the
about what
actual
about the shoe print?
from the actual crime scene, they still had tons and tons of evidence to process. And so if you listen to that guy, the lawyer,
Uh
and
huh.
he's been on 10 to Life, which Mab had talked about,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah,
tell you that the guy, the lawyer, he will specifically tell you, because he goes about the law in these cases. He's awesome,
mhm.
and he'll tell you that the PCA will only give you just a little bit of what they have to arrest these people. It will
Yeah,
not
to
tell you
secure the warrants,
everything
they
they
got to
have.
give them something. You know what I'm saying? And I would think the
Right.
most damning evidence would be, hey, we got DNA, because you
It's
can right
not
there and
just
get the warrant.
it's not just the most damning evidence. It's just what they have to get them from the get go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that they still had just to match the sheath, and then they're going back through with all the other stuff,
Now,
like Savannah, whatever they have under the fingernails. They had anything under that to process that to match them. I mean, that's why I think at trial we'll find out a lot of stuff, like more digital stuff. I think we'll find out a lot more
I
stuff.
know it's going to be a lot of digital evidence because they've been saying that from the very get about the phones, the phone calls, where the phone's been pinging, where he was at. So I'm sure a lot of this trial is going to be digital evidence. I mean, I believe he's
And then
guilty, of course.
and then and then in his car too. So,
Yeah, like
but another thing
if they don't
too
find nothing
about
in
his,
that car, that would seem a little strange.
I know. But
Because you would
another
think
thing
he'd be
too,
covered in blood.
right,
Covered.
right. I know. But another thing too is I agree with you about his father flying out there. Is I've thought about this too. Um, I saw something the other day about a detective trying to get a warrant on his storage unit that he had at the apartment, because they found a padlock inside the apartment, his apartment, and they figured out that he had a storage unit there, and they wanted to get in there to see, if it had any blood remnants or anything in there.
Hmm.
And I'm like, why in his car was, somebody that was
They watched him
going
clean the
home,
car.
somebody that was coming home from college, and there wasn't barely anything in his car. So, and that storage unit was cleaned out, or because the padlock wasn't on there.
His
So
shit, his parents probably did that before he even got back.
Did his dad and him destroy evidence?
I bet you they did. Because he's been doing this for a while. And look, these people, they keep shit. He has IDs that's not the Idaho 4. Okay?
Oh no.
So, I mean, where did he get those IDs? He's done this. His parents know he's creepy, and they're trying to protect their kid, or they were. So
and then also, supposedly, now who knows if this is true, but he posted on that Strava or whatever, it's an app for running. There's one post where he posted that he could run a mile in like 6 minutes. And, they say that if runners, if you're a good runner, you're really, really strong.
I'm sure he's athletic.
That could prove that he was really, really strong to do all this in 12 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah. To me, he's guilty as shit. There's no doubt in my mind.
I think he is too. I don't believe all this stuff by this other YouTuber that says it's the drug dealer and all that. I'm sorry, I just don't. Now,
I think he did some of this on purpose. I don't think somebody with a master's degree in criminology is going to leave a knife sheath on the bed next to the body.
Have you seen where there's this other YouTuber that says it's this drug dealer and the Bailey and all that?
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Nah, this ain't no drug dealer. This ain't no drug
dealer. Yeah. Thinks that it's a drug dealer and his girlfriend, and it's all drugs and all that, and that, yeah, and Zaina was part of it. Zaina sold drugs, and I'm like, what?
I do believe there is some drug dealing going on somewhere in this. Okay? I think that is the connection, is drugs.
But I still think.
And I ain't saying it's hard drugs. I'm just saying it's drugs. Somehow these people connected to drugs.
I still think some of that is, and maybe that's why the 911 call came in later. But I don't believe that the big time drug dealer in Idaho.
You don't have to be a big time drug dealer for people to kill you, though. There's 2 young boys down the street from me, and they're a cold case right now. I'm going to bring that up. I'm kind of scared to talk about it because the killers still probably live around me. Okay. But these 2 boys were selling like little dime sacks of weed. Okay. And they get a knock on the door. It's some other teenagers. And next thing you know, the teenagers bust up into the house, shoot both the boys and kill them right in front of their parents, turn around, walk out the door. One boy was actually hid behind the door. And they ran in to shoot the one boy, shot him in front of his mama while he was clenched to his mama. He was only 15 years old. And the other boy ran and hid behind the door. And as they turned around to leave after killing the one boy, they pulled the door open and shot the boy in the head. He was 14 years old over like a dime sack of weed. And they've never caught these people that killed him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. And just like 2 blocks over. So people will kill you for selling drugs, a little tiny bit of drugs. It don't have to be a lot. It could be little kid shit, nicking dime bags in the park type shit. People kill you over it. I done seen it happen. It happened in my neighborhood. So, I do think somebody in there was doing something they shouldn't have been doing in that house. And that's the reason, you're right, it took so long to call the police.
But usually if it's drug dealers, it's shooting up, don't you think? And it's stabbings like that?
Yeah, I don't think a drug dealer killed these people. I think Brian Kohberger killed these people. I'm just saying the connection is drugs. I don't saying drugs got them killed. I'm just saying they're connected to this dude through drugs, and he's crazy and he killed him. I don't think he killed him behind a drug debt or anything. I just think the connection to everybody is some type of narcotics. Maybe some Molly's, they're doing something. All college age people, not all of them, but a good majority are. They're out partying, drinking, recreational drug use. that type of thing. So it's some type of connection like that. It has to make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's Brian Kohberger no matter what.
Yeah. Anyway, look, hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, have a good one.
You too. Peace.
Okay, bye.
There's some connection, definitely, to Brian Kohberger, to one of those girls. All right. Now, I don't know if it's the Dylan. I'm thinking it's the Bethany. For some reason, I think the connection is Bethany. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Granny
How are
Bassmaster.
you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right.
You know, we talked about this right after it happened. He is a serial killer,
I
and
believe
I don't
so.
think it's. Oh, I don't think that was his first kill.
Nah, definitely
No.
not.
Nobody can convince me of that. But he killed those kids. He might have not been a drug deal. It might have been, you know, just he wanted to kill somebody.
Maybe it was over a little bit of smoke, because look, there's a video that surfaced, right? And I
Yeah.
ain't saying this is definitely a thing, but I'm just saying there's a possibility. I know some of them girls smoke trees. Okay, we'll just say trees.
Okay.
Because there's a video that surfaced, and now look, I've been around a lot of people taking rips, like bong rips and things like that. You can hear the girl in the background take a bong rip, right? And not only, but she has that cough that comes with it. So she's over there choking off a rip, right? So I know they smoke, right? And I know that they had a water pipe in the house, because you can hear her taking the bong rip, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking at some point, and here's a bad thing. Oregon, that sits next to it, perfectly legal. Idaho, they treat that shit as a crime. So that's illegal stuff in the house. That could explain a little bit. Hey, we need to get rid of this and this and this. We don't want to get in trouble. And them waiting to call the police.
I can understand that, but why wait that long? I mean, those
Scared
police
and scared they're going to get in
care
trouble
about no
for.
weed.
Yeah, I know the police don't care about no weed, but I'm just thinking what could go through a young person's mind that's in college. Oh, I'm going to get caught with drugs and I'm going to destroy my whole future. These types of things, you know. I just think that at that age, that's the worst thing you want to do, is when you're building your future, is to end up with a charge for, like, just to say they had some powder or something. This something like that, you know. I ain't saying they did, but what if they did, and you're about to destroy your whole future over this, and you're like, man, I gotta get this shit out of the house.
I'd have got it out of the house. I'd called somebody to come get it, take it away, and then I'd call the police.
And I think that's what they did. I honestly do. I just think since it happened so late at night, it took a while for people to get there to help, you know, or whoever they trusted to get the shit out the house. And then they called the police. That's why it was called from the roommate's phone, but not from the roommate, because a neighbor across the street is the one that actually called the police.
Good Lord,
Other
good
people had
Lord.
been in that house before the paramedics and the police.
And I don't think that was the first time he had been in that house.
I don't either.
You cannot convince me of that.
He was breaking into homes. We know this now. We know he broke into a woman's home. He will break into your shit. So I believe he's been in that house before. That explains how he knew the house so well, knew where they slept, everything.
Well, he's a creeper.
Creeper, for sure.
I just hope that they don't let him get off on a technicality.
I don't see it happening, to be honest. You know, I just don't see it happening. I think there's too much against him. You know, with just, yeah, he's done. He's done. I'm confident of that.
I hope so. I'm praying.
There ain't no jury in the world that can look at that evil man and not see the evil. He can't. He's so evil though that you can see it in him.
Oh yeah, he looks
You know what I'm
like
saying?
Ted Bundy.
See, and everybody in the jury is going to say the same thing. In their mind, they're going to go, "This dude is fucking Ted." You can't. when you're so evil, it radiates from you. You can't hide it. He's a person, he can't hide it. He looks like a fucking killer.
You know, the only other one that has scared me, because you can't scare me easy, is Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
Yeah, but he was a little bit satanic at the same time, so he was a scary guy.
But did you look at his eyes?
Yeah, that is another similar person to Brian Kohberger. I mean, not in the killings, but I mean in the you're so evil that you can't hide it.
Yeah, he's so evil he cannot hide it.
Yeah, like if you can see the evil, you're fucking evil.
They need to hang him.
Need to hang him. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I would.
Or let him ride the lightning. You know, I would let him decide which
Honestly,
one.
I don't know which one of that would be worse, to be honest. The electric chair or hanging. I mean, both of them would be really, really bad. To be honest, I think I would rather be hung than electrocuted to death.
You wouldn't feel it after a couple of seconds.
Yeah, but I mean,
You wouldn't.
I think your quick falling and your neck breaking and you going kind of quick like that would be one thing. Getting electrocuted, it's going to hit you for like your brain's going to be smashed. I just think I would take the gallows. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Firing squad. There you go. Put me in the firing squad. I want to go peaceful in life. I couldn't. That's why I love everybody. I don't want to damn get the electric chair or the lethal injection.
I love everybody too, but we got to have some law.
I agree. If we didn't, it would be crazy.
Well, it's getting crazy.
It is crazy.
These people walking around saying kill you, look at you. And I just don't know. But he needs to get the death penalty. I know he probably won't. But he really needs to.
I think when it gets closer, he's going to confess. He's going to take a plea deal to life in prison. I honestly do. Because when I was listening to OJ's old lawyer that was on the Dream Team talk about him, he said, sometimes as a lawyer, it's not to be there to find your client innocent or guilty. Sometimes it's to negotiate his life. You understand what I'm saying? His lawyer right now should be negotiating for his life. This dude's so guilty that he's going to get the death penalty. So as a lawyer, what OJ's lawyer said was that they should be fighting for a way to keep this guy alive because he's going to lose. Is what he's saying. Right now, it's your job as sometime as a lawyer to make a deal. You see, that's what he said.
True.
And this is one of the things where you go in and you beg for a deal and say, look, we'll talk, give me life in prison. And because he's going to get that anyway.
Yeah, he's going to get that anyway. But don't they have to have their permissions from those kids that he killed, their parents?
What, to take a plea deal?
Yeah, to take a plea deal.
I mean, they'll run it past the parents. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about saving that state millions of dollars, saving a trial, saving all these things, you know, and he's going to rot in prison anyway. And then you take the chance that if he goes there, that they don't give him the death penalty too. You see what I'm saying? So
I see what you're saying.
To avoid causing the state millions and millions of dollars, I think they would let him live and just give him life in prison if he confessed to his crimes.
I'm like that old song you said. I said, ride the lightning or 5 minutes alone with you.
Yep.
But
he'll get what's coming, though. He'll get what's coming. This life or the next, he'll get what's coming.
That's true. You take care, and I'll talk to you later. You watch Top Notch.
All right, Granny. Be good.
Bye.
You know, like I said, when you do crazy stuff in this world, it'll come back to get you. If it don't get you in this lifetime, it'll get you in the afterlife or the next life. So, like the Rebels thing. What, the Summer Wells? They're going to pay for that. Confident of that. Dolly.
Hey, this is Sue Bryan. I've called you once before. I've having the same problem in my apartment, and this, I mean, it's so true. You're hitting everything right on the head about this guy, but see, here I am. I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't drive. My car's sitting out there, won't even run. And the stupid guy next door is getting up in my attic and he's tormenting me. And my landlord says, "Oh, I'm crazy. You need to go to a mental a doctor or something. So how am I going to prove this when I'm sitting here? I don't know what he's holding on my body. It's some kind of whatever it is. It gets so hot on the back of my neck, it just burns, and I got little round circles just on my legs and on my back of my neck. Where he's tormenting me, and I can't prove it because.
All right, who is this and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Alabama, and I live in a little town.
Okay, you say you think your neighbor's stalking you and watching you in the attic?
Yes, he's a peeping Tom. I just told her yesterday or the day before that he's a peeping Tom, and I want out of this apartment. And she had an apartment I could rent, and she wouldn't let me have it. And it's like she don't believe me. She says, "Oh yeah, like that." And I'm the one that's having to live it because it's just like now. I got a key missing. It was on my front porch. I had it under the rug.
Okay. Do you have any family that comes and looks after you?
Well, my ex-husband, but she's talked to him, and he says he don't believe it either.
Well, why don't you tell him to climb up in the attic and see if there's anything up in the attic?
She says she's been up there. There ain't no way nobody can get over in my attic. I've heard the stupid saw going. I've heard the hammer. He's got some board he takes down, and he puts it back up when he hears somebody, because he's listening.
Are you sure
There's security cameras.
Do you have cameras?
There's cameras in my apartment. I can see the vent hole in the kitchen, at night. There's that little round laser light. And then in the nighttime, when it's shining when after dark, it's glowing in the window in the living room. You can see my ceiling fan, and you can see him lit up there in my ceiling fan. He's watching me, hears everything I say. He's hearing me right now. And when I hang up the phone, I'll pay for it. It's just like, because he hears everything I say. And then I'm tormented after everybody goes home.
Have you ever tried to reach out to law enforcement?
Well, they've come twice, but he won't come to the door. The lights will be off. They don't turn their lights on at night, and they act like they're gone. And they knock on the door, and they won't come to the door. So the landlord is just making it sound like I'm stupid. I took all my junk and went and sat at the patio out there one night because since I walked by his apartment, the music just went loud as everything. It was just booming. And then I went on out there and sat forever. And they called the cops because I was sitting out there, in my wheelchair. And they made me come back home because they thought, that I was crazy because I went out there because the lights was off and they were supposed to be gone. She might be gone, the car might be gone, but he's not gone. And
you ever thought that you might be just imagining a little bit of this and that
this has been going on for 2 years. I've been putting up with it, and I've been in and out of the hospital, and my foot, I've had foot surgery and hip surgery, fell, and so, and I've had things missing, like pajamas missing. When I come back home, stuff that knew that I had bought, pajamas, bottoms.
Have you tried changing the locks on your doors?
Well, she said she'd do that, but then she was pissed off about it when she said she'd do that. So, I guess that's what I need to do is get the locks changed if she's going to make me stay here because, it's just, I can't even go, I don't even turn the bathroom light on when I go to the bathroom.
It'd be a ghost.
Well, yeah, I guess it could be, but I know better.
You might,
I'm not.
you might live in a haunted house and your neighbor's not doing anything to you.
Well, that's what I told her. I said, "Is there a ghost in my apartment? Did somebody die?" I even said that to her because this has been going on for. But the smell is what it started. It was I kept smelling this smell, and it was driving me out on the front porch. I couldn't breathe, and I've had to call the ambulance 2 or 3
You
times.
sound like you're having some paranormal type things go on, not like stalker type things.
Well, it sounds that way, and I want to believe that. But then again, I don't know, because I never had ghosts before, and I never had no real ghosts.
And you like this person said, my neighbors had a whole family of raccoons living in their attic. I had one out in my yard night before last, big as shit. But maybe there was something on your roof that you're hearing, like that could have been walking around like an animal. Maybe you're having some paranormal type things go on. Burn you a little bit.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, burn you a little bit.
Thinking?
No,
I'm into criminal crime solving problems. I haven't been letting this go. I've been having to figure it out on my own, and I'm not just somebody that sits around and lets it go. I keep up with everything. I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm having to do my own investigating on this, and and I swear, but that's my only problem is she says they can't nobody get over in my attic because it's got a firewall.
that is
If
true.
somebody cuts a hole, yes, they can get over there because I've heard him cutting it, and then he nails that board back up. But I smell him cooking mess. I know good and well he's doing over here in my attic. That's why he don't want to do it over in his apartment because get caught and it's be thinking that'd be his apartment. So he's doing it in my attic. And I smell it, and he's still doing it. And they walk around up there at night, and I hear them after everybody goes home. Everybody goes to bed here early, and I hear him walking up. I hear them, and but anyway, once I said something to my neighbor out loud on the front porch, I said, "I think the man next door is making mess." I said, "It's running me out of my apartment, the smell." And once I said that, that's when all this other stuff started. He started holding something on my legs, trying to burn my skin. I don't know what he's
How is
using,
that
but
possible, though? How is that
up
even
in my
possible?
attic, he's tearing the ductwork.
How is he burning you and things if he's not there with you? See what I'm saying?
Can lasers do that?
No, he's not lasering you. The man,
I don't know what
I don't know a laser that you can get that's going to burn you from the attic.
through a hole. I thought that's what lasers do. If you hold it on somebody's skin, it'll burn.
Ma'am, I don't think that's possible, to be honest. You might have some paranormal activity going on, but I doubt your neighbor is highly shooting you with lasers from your attic,
Well, okay, then.
You might just be overthinking it, and you may need to look in a different direction. Like,
well, but that's not the only thing.
yeah,
I know you need to go.
Be cooking drugs up. I ain't saying, hey, he could be whipping in the kitchen like some of these other YouTubers out here. But, I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like you got some, like some paranormal activity going on, or you're imagining, like SpongeBob imagination. You might be imagining some of these things because your mind is making you think these things are happening because you're just fixated on it, or somebody's in your attic. I don't know, but to me, it don't sound like somebody's in your attic.
Okay.
Don't worry yourself to death and stuff. Calm down, relax. Stop looking at your neighbor.
But see, that's what's going on with this guy that just killed all these girls. He had been in their apartment before.
It's true. That is true.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds just like what's going on. And
the whole laser thing and the burn thing, it sounds more paranormal, more ghostly than a person coming in your apartment and burning you. But if a person came in your apartment and burned you, you would see him.
Well, he's not coming in here. There's holes. They could just tear the ductwork because it's right behind my head.
No, that's not happening. That's definitely not happening. I can promise you.
Well, remember my name.
Okay. What's your name? So if you come up dead, I will be
Okay.
your neighbor.
Sue Brown in Fort Payne, Alabama. I done told everybody. All right. Thank you.
All right, you be good. Stay safe.
All right. You too. Bye.
All right, peace. Yeah, either she has some paranormal stuff going on in her house, okay, which I ain't saying it ain't possible. Like, I didn't see a damn baby ghost run by me. At this point, I can believe anything, right? But I doubt her neighbors in her attic. One, you know, and I worked in I used to paint apartments and do construction. And apartments, they do got to have firewalls to separate things, just in case your apartment catches on fire, it don't burn down the neighbor's house. And when her landlord said, well, somebody can't get in your attic, there's a firewall. I believe that. Could you bust through the firewall? Yes, you could bust through the firewall, like she's saying, but somebody ain't gonna do all that. One, most likely you're not gonna cook meth in an apartment. I ain't saying it wouldn't happen, it's happened before. But usually people go out in the middle of nowhere and make meth and those things, you know. I think she may be imagining a little bit of these things, possibly. She could have a couple mental health issues. You know, I mean, I don't know. Strange things happen in this world. Is it possible? Yes. I really doubt that. No, I really, really, really doubt that. The landlord should check the attic for her peace of mind. Now, imagine you the landlord, though, and I ain't saying she is, but you got somebody calling you saying, I'm being burnt with laser beams in the apartment. There's people in the ducts works of the apartment. Somebody's in my attic, right? Most likely they're gonna say you crazy. They ain't gonna say you crazy, but he might say, hey, you fucking crazy. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Jamie from Indiana.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I hope that caller is still listening, and I just wanted to touch on that. If it's not some type of paranormal, I think that, honey, if you're listening, that you really need to talk to your doctor. Either A, they got your if you're on medication, they got it mixed up, or they can give you ways to tone out those noises that you hear.
Yeah. Yeah, because I if it ain't ghost, I think she's tripping.
My brother dealt with that for a lot of years.
Yeah.
He'd show up at my door, knocking on the door, telling me that the news told him my house was on fire. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I had a nephew that thought he was an angel and shit, walking around with a Bible in circles and weirdo shit.
Yeah, my baby brother swore that there was a whole like people living in his wall, and they were coming in and shooting him up with drugs. So they drug him, and it was crazy.
They would drug him. It's the people in the wall. I'm telling you.
But he's a paranoid schizophrenic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the son of Sam. He would talk to a hole in the wall.
Right.
He thought a person.
And I mean, he'd be normal. Like everything would be fine. And I only say that because like I have a soft spot for mental health. That's what I went to school for until I had kids. But I don't want her to ever think that it's okay to not be okay. But it's got to be miserable. I mean, you're miserable. You can't live life to the fullest if you're constantly thinking someone's after you.
You got to realize when you have a problem, and sometimes when you have a problem, you don't know you have a problem.
Right, because it really, I mean, it sounds
real.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real to them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it just ain't real to everybody else.
I told her instead of sitting in silence in the dark at night, turn lights on and listen to music so you don't hear those noises.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I mean? And whatever she got going on with the burns, that's something sounds like it's medical, and she probably needs to get that checked out.
Or she's speaking it into existence, and that's what's happening.
Yeah.
If you think about something long enough, you're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. That's what I tell people: don't speak shit into existence.
Yeah, no, that's what I was really trying to say. I just couldn't spit it out. But on the Kohberger thing, I don't want to sound weird when I say this because I've thought about it for a long time. Has it been proven that Dylan was home the entire time?
I don't know if it's been proven. She went out that night. Okay.
I'm talking like during the actual attack.
She was there. Not only was she there, she witnessed it.
Well, see, I wonder because, you know, and I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. Supposedly, he came back to the house that morning at like, 9 a.m., they said roughly?
Yeah, he showed back up. Yeah.
Picked him up.
Yep.
Nobody got caught. What if Dylan went with him and he was bringing her back? I
thought the same thing too. I said the same thing back in the day. Don't think that hasn't crossed my mind.
But I'm like, I don't want to sound, you know what I mean, just throwing stuff out. But
that they did it together.
why would he? I don't even know if he's been together or a setup or something gone. I don't know. Like, it's just, she's rubbed me, and allegedly, she's really
I
just
think
rubbed me
it's
the wrong
connected to
way.
Bethany.
Yeah.
That's who I think the connection is to. And I'm thinking it has something to do with drugs. This is my thought. That's what I think. That don't mean I'm right.
I think that's why he's connected to the home and knows the home, or knows part. Or maybe he was there and they shunned it. I don't know, but I do find it. It's always been weird from the jump that he left 2 survivors. You know what I mean? So maybe he was actually friends, so-called friend with I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, let me say happy birthday to this Facebook user.
Okay,
Facebook user, I don't know who you are because it don't show your default picture. It just tells me you're a Facebook user. But it says, hello, Dolly. Today is my birthday. 47 years young. Well, happy birthday to you. It's Florida Girl 420. Happy birthday, Florida Girl 420. 47. That's the new 30.
Right. My only daughter, 4 boys, 1 girl. She'll be 14 on Sunday. It's crazy.
Awesome. So yeah, happy birthday to you, Florida Girl. I hope you have a blast today.
I don't know, though. I just think like nobody got, shortly after that, after 9, people started getting contacted, and you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll find out more. It's gonna be a little while. That's the sucky thing.
I know, it's the suspense.
Yeah, you gotta wait. I wish you could go to court tomorrow. Like, we gotta wait months to find out these answers. I'm just more curious about why this girl witnessed this murder, heard these murders, seen this dude. He had to have
help nobody
in his hand because he didn't have a sheath to put it in. And you didn't call the damn police.
I'm helping my neighbors down the road if I hear something. I don't know.
Yeah. Like if I heard someone across the street scream, help or something,
right.
I might not run over there.
Or if I'm driving down the road and that's right.
I ain't no hero. I ain't got a cape or nothing, but I'm calling the fucking man. That's for sure.
Look, on a different subject, your quote unquote meet and greet. We're only 7 hours out, so I think we're gonna try and head down and
it's a meet and eat.
Summer. Meet and eat, yeah. We don't greet. We're not that friendly. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we don't say hello because then the haters will be like, they're having a meet and greet. No, we're not. We're not saying hello to each other. We ain't that friendly.
Meet and greet. Right. We like people from a distance.
We just meet.
Big crowds make me anxious.
We don't even talk. Okay.
No.
This is all through
telepathically,
right?
That's against the rules. We'll get in trouble.
This is a whole group of telepathic thinking meeting, right?
Right.
No talk.
You can't sell soap and great. It's not allowed.
All right, look, you be good.
All right, Dolly, you have a good one.
All
Are
right.
you coming on tonight?
Yeah, I'll be on tonight.
All right, we'll see you tonight.
All right, peace.
Peace.
What if BK handed a knife to Dylan when he left? I don't know. And who does the damn footprint belong to? I want to know that one too. I think the crime scene was contaminated. Dolly.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Stone Gator.
Hey,
so I was listening to your previous caller about Dylan leaving with him and bringing her back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's her van print in front of her door.
Well,
the footprint of the van.
Wouldn't it be walking out the door and not facing the door? My understanding.
Oh, with the door?
That's what I thought, that it was facing the door. They said the footprint was standing right outside of Dylan's door. So I would assume the shoe print is facing the door and it's a van's print.
I was just thinking about that.
That's going to be, see, if I was the defense, that would be my biggest thing. I'd be like, somebody else was in that house, because who does that shoe print belong to? That just throws that doubt out there.
Does it, is it a fact that it came from a suspect? Could it have actually been from someone that lives in the house?
Here's the thing. They said it was something bodily fluid. Okay. That don't mean it was blood. It could have been urine. It could have been anything. You know what I'm saying? Maybe as he's killing these people, one of them's defecated and he stepped in it, and then whoever stepped in front of the door. So when they go in and they spray all these chemicals, it reacted to the chemical, because it's some type of bodily fluid that is the shoe print is. You see what I'm saying? It ain't
was
just a shoe
blood.
print. They found it. They say it's some type of bodily fluid,
Oh,
but it ain't
okay, then.
blood. Or it could be possibly blood. I don't know. It's a mixture of something. It's something that somebody stepped in front of her door, made it light up as some type of bodily fluid. Maybe
Gross.
maybe one of the paramedics or something stepped in some urine and then
I don't
stepped
think a
there. But
paramedic would-
you would think there'd be tracks of it. You see what I'm saying? But it was just
I
that
don't
shoe print in front of the door.
I don't think a paramedic would be wearing Vans to work. I'm just saying. I don't know. I think they'll be wearing like more supportive tennis shoes or something like that. I don't know. Onto the sheets though. They said that the only DNA that was on the sheet was the button that closes it. How can you only touch the button that closes it without touching the whole thing?
Yeah, you would think you would have to grip your hand around it and push the button down.
Yeah, and at least even if you use one hand, your fingers would have to be behind it to press, to push it down with your thumb. So I don't understand that either. And I have to go fast because I forget easy cameras. So the defense doesn't want cameras. So could it, if they win and the judge agrees, could it possibly be audio like Lori Vallow, or could it be like the West case in California, and we won't know anything at all until the end? What do you think about that?
I'm thinking this. I know they're ramping up security. I've seen this. They're ramping up security, putting stuff up for the court hearing, right? So I'm thinking at this point, they're not going to go with what the defense wants. They're going to broadcast this. I think they are. I think they're planning that. They're ramping up security and stuff at the courthouse, preparing it for media and shit like that. I think they're doing that because they are going to broadcast it.
You have to understand how small this courtroom is, though. So I think that might, make a difference in the judge's decision also. I
don't know. I think he's going to let the cameras go. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking the cameras are going to go. Because I was just watching them talk about the courthouse and preparations for the trial and how they're bringing on more people. They're putting up these walls. They're doing all this crazy shit. And I'm thinking, hey, well, they're doing that for a reason. And they're doing that because they know media is going to flood the fucking courthouse.
And that's just for the upcoming hearing that he has at the end of the month?
No, I think this is when they're setting it up for when he actually goes to trial.
Do you think that they're gonna have the trial there in Latah County, or move it to Boise or somewhere bigger, like they did for Lori and they're gonna do for
That
Chad?
depends. Like if that's up to his defense, if he goes in there and says he don't think he can get a fair trial in there, they got to ask him for a change of venue and shit like that. They haven't done that yet. I ain't saying that couldn't happen.
I don't know. It's going to be really packed if it stays there in Latah County. But anyway, I just wanted to know your opinion on those things. I'll let somebody else call in. I'll be in chat.
All right, you be good.
Peace.
Yeah, as far as I know, what they say, it seems like it's going to go there. Why move it? He ain't going to get a fair trial anywhere. This is a national case, right? Everybody in the fucking country knows what he did, right? You would have to literally go find somebody that lives underneath a rock. You would have to go get Tina. And even Tina knows what Brian Kohberger did. That just shows you. Papercut Tina lives in a cave. She's 20 years behind on time. And even she knows what Brian Kohberger done. Okay, so how do you find a person that hasn't heard something about this? Right? I know poor killing's big. That's everybody talking about it. Court people about it. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, how's it going? Who's this? Where you calling from?
It's Sweetly.
Oh, what's up, Sweetly? What's up, Sweetly? How you doing?
Good.
That's good.
Let me turn off my TV here. Um, well, I don't know where to start with the lady that just called or what we're talking about, but you know, I lived in Hawaii and there's a lot of taboo stuff. And a lot of it is it's there is a lot of spirits, you know?
She might have ghosts.
But anyway, I lived in a 2-story house with my friend and her, 80-year-old mother that lived through the December 7th Pearl Harbor, and she was very young, and a lot of people died, and there was a lot of spirits and stuff. But beyond that, there is a lot of spirits. But anyway, we lived in this 2-story house, and I don't know what the deal was, but everybody got a bad feeling, and it just came on one by one that when they came down the stairs, they felt like somebody wanted to push them down the stairs. And then one of the girls used to have dreams, or not even dreams, but like there was a beaver or some kind of animal in her room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did call somebody to come up there and check out the house, and we didn't really tell them much about what was happening or anything. And it came down to that the ground that the house was built on, which the house was kind of centered a different way than the other houses in the neighborhood. And but anyway, they came up with a Indian medicine man, and he I don't remember exactly how they explained it,
Thank you.
but he couldn't move on, because he was trying to protect the house. So not everything that he was doing was bad, but it was to move them off of the land because it was his land.
I was just watching about this Indian burial ground where they built this, and this is West Virginia. You know how, guys, I've been ghost hunting. So I was watching stuff, and I might want to go here. This was this amusement park, right? And apparently, like, while it was open, 6 or 7 kids differently died. One, it was like a water park. One drowned in a vent, but different ways people died.
Or whatever I told you about the playground.
I don't know. It's an amusement park that they closed down, but they built it on top of an Indian burial. They found out later they built this place on top of an Indian burial ground. So this place is supposed to be really haunted. So, and it's in West Virginia. I'm probably 6 hours West Virginia. So we might end up going there. I've already seen it on a ghost show. No, I seen it on William Shatner. I seen it on William Shatner's show, The Unexplained. They had it up there, and I was like, "Ooh, I'd like to go there." Right? Because I
told you about that. There's swing sets. And,
one kid fell off the swings of a truck. Okay, a delivery truck was backing up, and when the swing was going, one of the kids hit the truck and it killed one of the kids. That was in the news. So one of the kids got hit by a truck while he was on the swing, which is crazy. Actually get hit by an 18-wheeler truck while you're on a swing.
I didn't hear about that, but I don't know. But I brought that up to you a long time ago. And
that's it right there, Waters Park, right there. I think that's it in West Virginia.
Yeah, and you did say it was kind of far. But anyway, they came up with this this medicine man, and his colors was black, yellow, and red. And he said, and they told me to get some colors of those colors, go outside, and make a little memorial outside so that he could get out of the house and go away. You know what I mean? Like pass through the house. but I've also heard that in Hawaii, like my friend's mother's husband, they moved into a new house. And as soon as they went in there, they got this really strange feeling because they just bought the house. And they really do believe in taboo. I mean, they really can sense something. But he told the kids to go outside, and he got the scissors for some reason and walked around the house and just chopped. And I don't know what else he did or said or anything else. But after that day, things was a lot better, you know? So I do believe that there are spirits. That's why I say open 2 windows. So one is on one side of the house and one is on the other side of the house.
Uh-huh.
And let things go outside of your house.
Okay.
Now, the Kohberger thing, I think he wants the attention on this trial, but his lawyers are saying no way. You know, I mean, if he really thought that he was going to be exonerated, then why not televise it? You know?
Yeah, I think he wants the attention too. But hey, Sweet Leaf, I appreciate you calling in. You be good, girl.
Okay, Earthquake, bye.
Peace. We can start calling her 6.9 Trimmer. We just start calling her Trimmer. You never know when she's gonna get hung up on. All right. She does talk a little slow. I love Sweet Leaf to death. Just a little talk. She's been hanging out with Justice. Holly.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Kimberly from Texas.
Hey, Kimberly.
I just wanted to say I agree with you that if Kohberger is the killer, then I think he probably has done this before.
Damn straight.
It's just, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
other things, I'll go ahead.
I think it's like, I don't know if he's done the exact same thing, but he's done something similar, like breaking in houses, stalking, peeping. He's done these things before.
Right. I agree with that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was like the footprint. You know, bodily fluids could be in that house and footprints in that house. That house wasn't clean, spotless before this incident.
Yeah, but what did somebody piss on the rug or like?
I mean, it could be
you drank some
anything. They could have walked
tequila
into
and
the
you.
bathroom, go and pee in any kind of
Oh,
bathroom.
I got
pick
you.
up urine on the bottom
In the
of the
college
toilet.
house, yeah, some dudes probably
Right.
went in there and pissed on the bathroom floor, didn't lift the toilet seat, shit like that.
But the other thing too, I was thinking is the footprint could also have already been there, and with him walking through, he could have transferred fluids into the same location where that footprint happened to be found. You know, because the footprint was found and then they swab it.
Yeah, we don't know when the
fluids
last
were
time they
found.
mopped that floor was. Was that footprint there
Right.
from that night, or was that footprint there 6 weeks ago when the last time y'all's lazy ass mopped that floor? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's
what I was
possibility.
thinking. You know, because it was a footprint. I mean, being a Vans footprint, more than likely probably came from one of those kids that have been in that house.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's
You know.
I don't know. I wear Vans. I got a pair of Vans right now.
No, I
I'm
know.
Man.
Right, but it didn't look like the officers or anybody like after the incident had Vans on.
But if I'm thinking I'm
That's all
putting
I'm
on my
saying.
serial killer gear to go out and do some axe murdering, I don't think I'm going to put my Vans on like I'm going, to the beach. So
Right.
I think that's a little weird, that a killer would be wearing Vans.
Right. And
My thing is this: I think that the crime scene was contaminated. I think people went in that house. You think about this: young college kids. There was some party instruments in that house. There had to be water pipes and smoke and maybe some other stuff. I think somebody went in that house for sure because why would you wait so long to call the police?
Well, I mean, it was said kids went in that house after. I mean, they called all the friends over. The friends were around.
But why?
I mean, they said there were kids around.
But why?
And supposedly
If I woke up,
Ethan was the one who, you know, discovered Ethan, and he was the one who ended up talking to 911.
like if I woke up and my girlfriend was dead and Lolo was laying there dead, I'm not calling the person across the street. I'm calling the damn police. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I'm going to be thinking, man, they're about to put me in jail because I'm the only one alive. You know what I'm saying? But I'm damn sure calling the police. So, I mean, that would be my first phone call. I woke up, everybody in the house is dead.
Though, what if you woke up? You have to think too. Okay, so this even though they all live together as roommates, it's basically like dorms in a sense. Everybody had their own room and paid for their own room. And so if they're behind their door locked, sometimes, you know, you give your roommates privacy because it's not like your family member where y'all.
She went out there 3 times and physically seen them. You know, how do you physically, and you know, he had to be covered in blood. He done killed 4 people, right? With the knife in his hand because he don't have a knife sheath. Where's the knife at? So she's seen a man walk past her dressed in all black with a mask covered in blood with a knife in his hand, and she didn't call the damn police.
But then at the same time, you have to look at, like, even looking back on, like, a lot of, like,
what if she had ate some shrooms or something? She thought she was tripping. I would believe that more than you just didn't call the fucking police. You know what I'm saying? If she said, Dolly, I ate a handful of magic mushrooms, and not only did I see him walk by, but a dragon was right behind him, I go, okay, girl, you good. The shit she's saying right now is just unexplainable.
But what if it could have even been she didn't know who the killer was, who did these things, and before she called the police, she wanted to make sure it wasn't one of her friends.
But what about if she would have called the police and one of these kids could have been saved?
No, absolutely, probably so. With stabbings when they would be bleeding to death, if she would have even got up and rendered.
I ain't saying that. I don't want to put that on her. But I'm saying there is that possibility. If she would have called the police, I ain't saying they would have, but there's a possibility maybe one of them could have survived, or maybe 2 of them. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But she never called the police, so we'll never know. They laid there bleeding all fucking night.
Right. But the only defense I have for her in my own thinking is that house, and you could see it like on different body cam footage, they did crazy stuff. They played weird games. They did pranks. They did all kinds of crazy stuff. She might have just assumed they were doing some crazy thing, like it wasn't real, that it was just another one of their games or their things that she just, and maybe didn't even realize it, just the concept that it was an actual crime being committed just didn't even cross her mind. That she just thought, what the heck are they doing? They're being weird. They're doing crazy stuff. They have weird friends here. You know, that's the only thing I can think of why, maybe, because you see, you know, they did weird stuff. They did all kinds of different drinking games and partying and different people in there, and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, she should have knew something was wrong, though. She should have knew something was wrong. There's just, when you're fighting for your life, and we know that Ethan and Xana, we know they fought for their life. They had defensive wounds, okay? They were making all kind of fucking noise. You can believe while one's getting killed, the other one's screaming. Okay, they ain't gonna, you know, you can't kill. He wasn't killing them both at the same time. He may have been fighting them both at the same time while he's stabbing one of them, but there is all kind of noise being made, not noises you're used to hearing. You're talking about people being stabbed, and there's a difference in a scream and somebody screaming for their life. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different type of screaming that would be going on. This girl had to know. She had to have known something was wrong. Why she did what she did, I'll never understand that one. But she had to know at that point when her friends were in there getting killed and she's listening to it. She had to know. Now, did she go hide? Now, if she just went and hid and felt like I'm scared, I ain't coming out till fucking 12 hours later, I can live with that. Right. It sounds like she just went in and went back to bed and she was like, F it. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. I don't know anybody who would act like that.
You never know. Maybe she did stay in her room and lock the door, and hid in there, and maybe she wasn't near where her phone was to call 911. Maybe her phone was on a charger in another spot.
Well,
and she waited it out.
don't you think when you seen a man with a knife covered in blood, dressed in all black with a mask on, go out your back door, that you would at least go lock the fucking back door? Check on your people in the house.
One in the house. Maybe she thought there was more than just him.
Maybe that is a possibility too. Maybe he's not alone. I go out, the next dude's going to see me. You know, that there is that possibility. I can understand I'm scared and go hide, but she came out multiple times knowing something wrong. According to her, 3 different times.
Right.
So she heard it all. She heard the shit going on upstairs. She heard the shit going on downstairs. She seen the motherfucker leave and still didn't do nothing.
She could have thought something happened, but that it actually wasn't a murder, like a fight, you know, maybe even injury.
Wouldn't you check on your roommates?
Yet not like an actual murder. And
Yeah, but if it was anything, if you heard an altercation, a fight, wouldn't you go check on your roommate? Hey, is everything okay, guys?
Right.
And then you didn't hear nothing, you'd be like, hey, is everything okay? And you don't hear nothing, you open the fucking door. You know?
No, and actually and I'm trying to give her defense. I'm trying to defend all the reasons why.
Yeah, why she may not have. I've kicked all those thoughts around in my head too.
And in my head, what it leads me back to is she either has some kind of guilty knowledge, some type of involvement, or something that that's where it leads me back to. And I'm sure that's why a lot of people question.
Or she was doing something wrong herself, and she maybe not with the murders, but maybe she had drugs on her or something like that, and she was scared to call the police. I called the police. I got drugs on me. I'm just going to hunker down, and that's what she's done. Now, I don't want that to be the case. I don't know the girl. I'm just thinking, why on earth, you know, would you not help your friends whatsoever? And I know she's going to have to live with this for the rest of her life. She could have helped. Maybe not, you know, but maybe you could have. And
well, in the PC, it does make it look like she didn't realize there's something went on upstairs with Maddie and Kaylee, but that it was something with Ethan and Xana.
But you know, she was able to describe him pretty fucking good for somebody that didn't know what was going on. She knew he had bushy eyebrows, so she didn't just see him. She seen him pretty damn good.
Right, and what he was wearing.
Yeah, and you know he had to be soaked in blood. Soaked.
Right. If you're wearing black clothing, you probably wouldn't see that, though.
Oh, you seen that?
You wouldn't see that he had blood on him if his clothing was all black.
What about his face?
Well, I guess they said he had a mask on.
Well, over this part of his face. So
you know, like had blood.
Maybe I think you would see. I think you would see blood on him, but I may be wrong. If he's dressed in all black, yeah, it could soak in, and maybe you don't see it. As soon as that light hits, you're going to see it. Any type of light.
Right. Well, see, my thing with it, you know, I kind of question it, and I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but Xana's mom obviously had a lot of drug connections and drug things going on. And, you know, usually in that kind of lifestyle, the odds were that those kids and her daughter would have very easily been able to probably get drugs and things from her also. You see that a lot, you know, in families that are with that type of a situation with a mother in that when you look at her, you could just kind of see what kind of person she is and what kind of life she leads. And then you think, well, you know, who was the connect in that house that they were able to access things? And then you see, well, here's a family member that is involved in that type of thing. So, you know, maybe even they did know that things were going on in that house.
Yeah.
You know, that is, you know, and maybe Dylan wasn't sure what happened, but maybe she didn't want to call the police because it could have been something in connection with something with drugs, and maybe not even her. but with drugs with another roommate. And so she just tried to stay out of it because it wasn't her business.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I was thinking too. Like, but no, it's strange. It's very strange.
We'll know more about it soon. That's for
right?
sure.
So it's weird, the whole thing. But that was
You want to
my
make your
opinion,
fantasy sports
but,
league?
thank you for
All
taking
right.
my call.
You have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys. Real quick, hold on the phone lines. So PJ was just posting something about this news article coming out. Cody Bixby charged in connection with death of son 4 years old. So he's been indicted. He already faces 30 charges. Hold on a second. Let me pause this. We skipped this ad. Breaking news. All right, let me turn this up so y'all can hear it. And this has to deal with Cody Bixby. If you're not familiar with Cody Bixby, he's a little African-American boy that went missing from right around here where I live. Well, he's about 45 minutes from me. His dad, okay, I've actually went out and searched for this little boy. His dad was arrested shortly after he went missing. Well, after he reported him missing. Here's the thing. It was believed that Cody Bixby was reported missing months prior to him actually being reported missing. Okay. So let me blow this up. Hold on. Let me shrink it real quick so I can turn the volume back up. Okay. Volume is up. Let me blow it up. And this is just coming out on Cody Bixby. Apparently they've indicted his father, which is good because like I said, he was going to prison for 100 years without even being connected to the disappearance of his kid, just for the child neglect charges. Virginia's hard. We talked about a story last night of a girl that was convicted. She faces murder charge and the death of a 1-year-old child that was in her care. Virginia don't play, right? Like we don't let kids come up missing. That's one thing I am grateful for my state, that when it comes to children and you effing with kids, they don't play. They don't play at all. You're going to get what comes to you here. Okay. And that's one thing I am thankful for being from Virginia for. When they punish you for some shit, they punish you. All right. They don't get it. They like Texas punish you.
Breaking news out of Hampton. Sources say Corey Bixby is indicted on charges in connection to the death of his son, Cody.
Yeah, the charges come nearly a year and a half after the 4-year-old was reported missing from his home, and we're told a grand jury indicted Bixby on Monday. Bixby is also facing 30 child neglect charges.
That's what his
that
ass
are not
gets.
connected to Cody's disappearance. Bixby is scheduled to appear before a judge for a mental health evaluation next week. We're working to get more information on
don't
these
play
charges, and
crazy
we'll get that
now.
out to you as soon as we learn more.
Okay. So there you have it.
Says the families of the 4 University of Idaho students.
Cody Bixby's father indicted. See, here they declared Cody Bixby deceased. Okay. Early on, they said this kid is not with us. He's not missing. He's not being kidnapped. The dad did it. And in this, they violated his constitutional rights. Now, if you're guilty, you're guilty, right? Did Virginia violate his constitutional rights? Yes. Badly. Okay. Did we try to correct that? Yeah, kind of. All right. Did we let him out of jail because we violated his rights to get the charges on him? No. Okay. The answer is no. I ain't seen nothing like this, right? The man got arrested. He asked for an attorney. They refused him an attorney. Kept questioning him. He asked for an attorney 7 times. 7 times this man asked to stop talking and asked for an attorney, and they denied him an attorney and kept questioning him and charged him with 30 counts of charges. Right. So now he got like this lawyer that represents, he's going to end up suing. He's going to prison for the rest of his life, but he's going to end up suing the state of Virginia. I know it's coming. I know by who he picked as an attorney and all these things. I was like, okay, this is going to turn into a big ass lawsuit. They getting sued. All right. You cannot. There's some things, some rights in this world you're entitled to. And they violated those rights 100%, without a question. They don't even deny violating his rights. They still ain't letting him go. He's went up for a bond hearing 8 times, refused every time. Okay. That's after they violated his constitutional rights to take the warrants on him. So now, finally, they're going to charge him in connection with the disappearance of Cody. I just pray to God that he strikes a deal and tells where his son is at. Okay. It's horrible to see parents out there killing their kids and things of this nature. He just needs to talk. Where's that little boy? Let that little boy have the rightful funeral that he deserves. You know, and sometimes when you can't, in a missing kid case, right? At a certain point, do the police sometimes do decide to say, hey, we believe this kid's deceased. Okay. We've seen this in the Michael Monkey Vaughn situation. The police believe that Michael Monkey Vaughn is sad. And you know, I wear a Michael Monkey Vaughn. Oh yeah. Turtle Gang bracelets are in. Merch store by dollysoap.com. It says Dolly Vision. But anyway, I wear a Michael Monkey Vaughn bracelet every day. And plus the summer one, you know. So just to remind me, but the police think that Monkey's not with us. And that's hard to say and sad. You know, I've been out there searching for that little boy in Idaho. And I pray to God that he is still alive somewhere and somebody snatched him. And these Wanderer people are crazy. And the police may be wrong about him being deceased. Okay. Because they were wrong about him being in the backyard. I think they were wrong about the Wanderers. So if that's the case, then there's still some hope. You know? For me, for Michael Monkey Vaughn, of course, his mother, you know, if the police are wrong, this little boy could still be with us. And I ain't saying he is, and I ain't saying he ain't. I'm just saying that the possibility is if these people, if the Wanderers were batshit crazy and they're just making shit up and there's somebody pointing fingers and blaming people and there's no truth in it and he's not dead somewhere because, you know, they're saying cadaver dogs hit on things. I don't always trust them damn dogs. I don't. Ever since Brian Laundrie, I'm like, you can't smell shit. Okay. They walked past them 700 times. I mean, he was like seems like a dog would smell that in a minute, like a bone. Okay. Like, yeah, there's a bone. He was just literally laid right there. And dogs, they had dogs, search dogs, all kind of damn dogs. Now, one of them dogs sniffed that dude out. Okay. It's just, I don't know. Did they find his scooter bike at the Wanderers or maybe rumors? Now, I ain't heard nothing about that, to be dead honest with you. Now, what I had originally heard was that there was a vehicle. Remember, they were looking for a certain vehicle. That vehicle, when I went and met with Brandy, okay, her father-in-law is the one we should have met. He shared a lot of information. Okay. It was crazy because he knew things that Brandy didn't know, and they lived in the same house. Okay. He was like, yeah, the police have figured out who that car belongs to, and it belongs to this married couple that lives in this house. Okay. Remember the car. Okay. Remember the car. Now, I don't know if that car led them to the Wanderers or that car still to this day. I don't know this. If that car belongs to somebody told. See what I'm saying? It could be two different things. I'm not quite sure. That's something you have to ask Brandy. All right, hold on. Let me get this call. Dolly.
Dolly.
Yes.
It's Amy.
Hey,
the
Amy.
Ruby Pearl Glancer from Arkansas.
What's good with you?
Oh, my God. I'm sitting outside in my bathing suit, tanning, working on stuff, doing this and that and the other, sweating to death.
Cool. Sounds like a good day to me. I'm just
So,
sitting here listening to the birds chirp.
Are you? Well, so I think I might have told you this before. I'm not sure, but I agree with you about Brian and there being some type of past crime or past criminal behavior going on that we don't know about. Whether or not he's killed somebody before, that's to be said and found. But this criminal behavior that led to him killing the Idaho 4, it's there. It's there somewhere. I fully believe.
I do too. It's just a matter of, I think as more of it comes out, they'll start to know more. It's a sharing of information right now from one agency to another agency. But I think as it opens up bigger and broader, he's done something. He's done something.
Well, on my channel, I did a whole show about the incel community.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe he was an incel, though. I don't think he hated women.
I do. I think his profile and everything that we've learned about him, I think he fits the profile of an incel. And I feel that Madison and Jake and Xana and Ethan and Kaylee and Jack fit the description of what's referred to as Chad and Stacy.
Chad and Stacy's. Yeah, I mean,
Chad and Stacy.
Yeah, I mean, is that? I don't know how big that community is of people that. I mean, I know I could.
They
I love
actually covered it on Law and Order SVU.
To Earth, like how could men hate women? Especially not men that ain't homosexual. Like, how can a man just hate women? Like, I don't. It's something in our DNA that makes us love women. You would be lacking something inside if you, like, naturally. You know what I'm saying? How could you just naturally hate?
Yeah. Well, they covered it on Law and Order SVU. They did a show on it. They're always doing what's, in the now and things that are going on, and they'll kind of do loosely based off true stories and stuff.
Rejected men, I could see hating women. Might get to where they hate women. But I never thought Brian was an incel guy. He had a girl that he hung out with. Matter of fact, a local girl here where I'm at in Virginia Beach, she talked about him like she was trying to marry his ass. You know what I'm saying? She hung out with him all the time. You could tell she had a crush on him, liked him. And she was on my local news talking about him.
Well, she was probably a Becky, though. If he is an incel, this girl was probably a Becky.
What's a Becky?
A Becky is a girl, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup. She's kind of sporty, hair in a messy bun, ponytail, where like Maddie and Kaylee especially.
Is a Becky cool in the incel community, or is that bad too?
No, a Becky is just not as hot as a Stacy girl is. And you look at Maddie and Kaylee, and they look like they walked off of Vogue magazine.
Yeah, I got you. They're really pretty girls.
They're blonde. You just have to read into incels and who they are, how they feel, and the whole persona of who the Stacy and Chad is, and how Stacy is always
that
with
has
the
to
Chad.
be a small group. That has to be a small group.
Well, it's a small group on. I think that there may be some on Reddit and especially the dark web. And I ain't screwing around with no dark web stuff. But if I knew how, I would love to get into the dark web and find out if this case is being discussed in the incel community. But I ain't got no idea how to do anything like that.
Yeah,
But I just feel like it totally fits the profile. He fits the profile of an incel, and the people he killed fit the profiles of the Chads and Stacy.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And any of y'all can watch the episode of Law and Order SVU. I can't tell you what season it's from or what episode it is, but just, Google it, Law and Order SVU Incel episode, and it should pop up. And you can watch it and you'll understand it a lot better.
Okay, I will definitely check it out for sure. And I mean, I was hearing about it a lot when everybody thought he was Papa Rogers, and they were saying he hated women, and I was like, I don't know if he hates women, but he did. He was a little chubby when he was young. He probably was rejected a few times, but as a man, that's just part of life. You got to take rejection. It comes with the
right. I mean, and even we as girls get rejected too. But you think about a lot of these people that have come forward and stated how rude and what an asshole he was to women.
Yeah, I have heard that he wasn't the nicest guy, but I think that was in general, because I heard guys say that to him too. That when he became a bully, at one point he was cool, and then decent person. And then he started getting in shape and he became a bully.
Right. Well, different experiences in life. We all have different experiences in life, and it affects us all.
He was probably definitely bullied.
Different ways.
As a small child, he was definitely bullied because he was chubby. He probably got rejected a lot. And then when he got in shape, it was payback time. You know what I'm saying? And he took his punishment, what was done to him, out on other people. Instead of breaking the chain and becoming a better person, he became exactly another link in the chain.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. But I just, that's just my thoughts and opinions. And I think if you'll watch that episode of Law and Order, and if you want to watch the show I did about talking about the incels and stuff, it's in my Idaho 4 playlist on my channel. But I just find it to be really interesting, and I honestly would give my eye teeth if I knew how to get into that dark web stuff.
Yeah.
Go and see if this case is being discussed.
All right. Well, look. Hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Okay. All right.
You have a good one. Peace. All right. Let me close this phone line for a second. All right. So I can talk and the damn phone ain't ringing over me. I got a few more minutes to hang out with y'all. Now, like I said, I don't like to call people out their names. So when I see people being crazy, I don't call them a Karen. Okay. I just say, hey, look at that crazy bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't call you out of your name. Right? I ain't gonna, if your name is Mike, I ain't gonna call you John. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna come up with some Chad, Brad, Becky, but because I don't hate people. For one, I don't understand that stuff. It don't make good sense to me. And the incel, what people try to explain to me, these ain't guys that are homosexual men. These are just guys that just hate women. That don't make good sense to me. I don't get that. That's the hardest. They just you don't like guys, but you hate women. Okay. Now, I don't know what women have done so bad to dudes that there's dudes out there that just hate you guys. Right. I mean, I have been stabbed, punched, kicked, put in jail for things that, but I still don't hate women. Right. I still believe that women are the greatest gift to the planet. Right. This place would suck without women. So I don't understand it in my mind. If you hate women that bad, when I think people hate a woman and you're a dude and you hate women, it makes me think because you don't have no confidence in yourself. Okay. To meet a woman or to talk to a woman. And I think one of the main things that women are attracted to, one is confidence. Right? They don't want nobody that don't even know what the fuck they're going to do with themselves. Right? They need a natural leader. It's what they look for. I think, you know what I'm saying? And of course, y'all like bad boys, that's been in prison for murdering 37 people. I don't know what that's about. We had to talk on that one in a secret meeting. I don't know why y'all be going for the serial killers and shit. Even with Kohberger doing all that shit, people are like, He kind of cute. He getting love letters in jail. Dolly don't get love letters. This man getting titty pictures. You know what I'm saying? He got a fan club. Okay. He got a damn fan club. Dolly been working for years up here. I can't even get y'all to like the damn video. Okay. Speaking of liking the video, there's this little thing down here, right? It kind of looks like a thumb like this. Y'all see that? Let's everybody do it together as a class. All right. As a team. Look, see this? Boom, thumb up. There's a little thing down here and you hit it. Okay. And it gives me like a plus point. So when the algorithm's looking, they go, oh, well, people like this video. Other people may want to watch it. Let's share it. And if you guys don't hit that little button, YouTube don't do that shit for me. And nobody sees my videos. Dolly could end up homeless. And we don't need that. Okay. And we can avoid it. There's ways to avoid my homelessness. Okay. And let me tell you how you can do that. One, absolutely free. You can like the video. Free. Don't cost you nothing. 1 second of your time. Just hit the button. Free as shit. You could share it on Facebook. One of your friends might like what goes on at Dolly Vision. They may watch and they may hit the like button because your lazy ass didn't. Okay? You can share it. That's a good way. You can join. Now, to join is the best way because Dolly get to eat when you join. Okay? When you join, Dolly get to eat. All right? I don't eat unless you join. I don't think we had nobody join today. I'm kind of my stomach growling. My stomach growling. Dolly hungry. Dolly got to eat too. Okay? That's a good way. Join up, become a member, get your turtle shell. And just support what's going on. Turtle bracelets are in. BuyDollySoap.com. Okay. Today is the last day of our half off sale. Okay. Right now you can get our lotions, body washes, scent rollers, half off with promo code Keep Dolly Free. Because today was my court date, but it's been moved. So the sale ran to today. So at midnight, that sale ends. So you have to midnight. 50% off. That don't include my pre-order, my new stuff that I'm pulling out the molds tonight. Okay. And shipping out. That don't include that. Okay. But the other stuff that was already on the store is 50% off up until midnight. And then the sale stops. Okay. And Dolly bracelets. Get you one. This is a great way to support the channel. Okay. One of these Dolly bracelets. Because this is how we'll be able to afford to pay for our trips and things of that nature. So you want to support the channel, go to the merch store, BuyDollySoap.com. We got t-shirts and other things there. Pick you up one of these bracelets. It'll really help us out, guys. Okay? Dolly loves you. I'll see you later tonight for some more true crime. And then I'll see you later on, Dolly Uncensored. Add that channel. Love you guys. Peace.